Shanti everyone. Good evening and welcome to the Monday sharing sessions. As always, every Monday we have a special guest who shares special experiences on this unique journey of 5,000 years, one of the unique times that we pass through, and that too, off of this confluence age, the journey through which we go through space and time and transcend space and time. And it's a unique thing to recognize that the minute you become soul conscious and remember Baba, magic happens. Like you become angels, you become deities, and that's a very unique thing. So if you always try to think about just by remembering something or someone, it transforms everything and it makes everything upside down to right side up. And how is this going to happen? And like as you know, as we go through this journey, we have so much trauma. We have to let go of a lot of things. We have to let in our own divinity come alive. And this transition could be a little bit tricky and painful. And today we have with us Brother Gokul. So he's going to share his unique experiences through this journey, when to remember, how to remember, and how to forget. And especially when we think about things of trauma, like all these deep sanskaras are nothing but traumas of the soul, right? And when they come up, how do you pass through them? And one unique quality of Brother Gokul is he has a sense of humor. He knows how to smile through it. He has a sense of humor that makes a soul lighter. Like in today's blessing, Baba was telling about when you become soul conscious, you become lighter, you step into your elevated stage higher, and then you progress. Everything passes down underneath you. And Brother Gokul is one of those unique examples who has this sense of humor that makes him lighter to sail above the flood and he let it pass by. Today we have with us Brother Gokul, has been in this unique journey over 30 plus years, and he has been my roommate for a couple of years, and then I had good memories with him. Without any further ado, I invite Brother Gokul to share his deep insights and experiences, when to remember, when to forget, when to give, and when to forgive. Welcome, Gokul. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Harsha, that was a beautiful introduction, and it's always it's my privilege, I would say, to connect with the family and get these opportunities to share. I normally don't even think this as sharing. This is a way for me to get blessings from the family. If you really think, who am I to even share, right? Even that is a level of ego where if I'm thinking that I'm sharing something. We are still in the journey, still so many things to learn, so many things to process, right? Because we are all in the same path. And when I was thinking about my journey, when I was having conversation with Harsha said, yeah, talk about your experiences, talk about what exactly you took. And I was thinking, yeah, what were my experiences? There is so many experiences you get along the way. But basically, a time comes when the experiences become more, how should I put it, as a way to be in that state, in that moment, right? Because every experience will put you into another stage. And once you get to that stage, this experience will be only there as a stepping stone. And right now, as we are speaking, we are in some sort of situation, whatever it is. And that is the building block of an experience which I can share in the future. Interesting, right? Right now, currently, wherever we are, any situation which you are facing at this very moment is a building block of an experience which you are going to share tomorrow. Right? Say if I was always in golden age, right? Always in silver age, it would have been so good. But it's not that case. Why is there entropy? Why is there this inertia? You come to copper age, you come to iron age, and then when you come to this beautiful diamond age, you value, right? You value so many things within you. You value all the things what you have played. At least a time should come where I will start to look at things and then I understand. Yeah, I need all that. Everything is good. Because let's start this session with this one clear understanding. And this is a huge thing I'm stating right now. Okay, I hope you're all ready for this. And that is, none of you have desires. You think you have desires, but actually you don't. What you have is something known as mimetic desire. mimetic. Mimetic desire. That's how they pronounce, I think. And I'm pretty sure someone is there trying to translate me in Hindi. So I don't know what exactly to say that in Hindi. So you can just say it as mimetic icha. Because have you ever seen children at a party playing with balloons? This is how they kind of give an example of mimetic desires, right? One child suddenly grabs a balloon, a red balloon, and yells, this balloon is mine, this balloon is mine, right? He just grabs it, and inadvertently all the children drop their balloons and they fight over this red balloon. A very dumbed down example of what Rene Girard, he's a French historian and a polymathician, he calls this as mimetic desires. Did you get it? Right? Everyone had a balloon, but one child kind of grabs this balloon and says, this balloon is mine. And that child saying that statement triggers something, and everyone else drops their balloons and they are behind this balloon. All our desires actually don't emerge from within. We think the desires are within. No, what desires does the soul has? Literally, when you are in that state of soul consciousness, there is no desire. And that soul consciousness is my eternal nature. That is my eternal being. That is who I truly am. I don't have any desires. It's something I have been programmed to get it from outside. Right? You sit with some old Matajis, just as a detached observer, just sit and hear through their conversation. What are their desires? Today this happened, today is. Then pull yourself up and sit with some teenagers who are sitting there and talking. Then sit with some old brothers who are sitting there and talking. Then sit with kids and if you really observe them, they are all in some sort of a state of desire. They're wanting something. And we import our most powerful desires from imitating the desires of other people. I know this is going to be a little heavy, but hey, you are all yogis there sitting, right? Let's analyze this once again. What did I say? We import our most powerful desires from imitating the desires of other people. You go into a fashion world, all of a sudden you transport yourself, boom, go into a fashion world, sitting in their boardroom and discussing. It's totally different. You take yourself and go into an IT boardroom and sit there. You, there is something, even though the want is there, but when the most powerful desire you look at it, you're importing from other people. Do you really think the desires what you have at this very moment, was that the same desire you had in your previous birth? No, totally not. How can I be so confident? Because in your previous birth, you may not be in the same gender. And gender also has a huge, powerful play to play on the desires what you're having. Even as a child, a little child looks at a nice red shoes and another kid is looking at the baseball. Something you are imitating. And actually, the entire advertising industry is found on this exploitation of borrowed desire, right? And it's not a linear process where a person autonomously desires and something immediately. Yes, I need that. No, we desire according to the desire of others. You put in that situation, you look at it. And this is what Baba is also exploiting. Did you really think when you are getting into this knowledge that yes, I want a golden age? I want to transform this world. I am the one who wants to wipe few tears before I exit out of this earth. How many of you really had this as a desire before coming into knowledge? I wasn't, at least. I know maybe some of you may. No, this was never a part of our plan that this should happen, this should happen. This slowly Baba knows this mechanism of mimetic desires. He slowly put us in from one thing and put us in something else. The same concept he's exploiting, and we are making us, he's trying to make us understand. Yeah, there is something more I can desire. The whole definition of desire, Baba has changed. Because if we only wanted to be happy, it would be easy. But we want to be happier than other person, then we are getting ourselves into trouble. Right? If you really think, yeah, I need to be happy, no one can stop you. But the moment I start to think that, yes, I need to be happier than that person, I need to get more money than this person, I need to get a better house than this person, I need to get a better health than this person, we are putting ourselves in a difficult situation. And this is exactly what we want to cover. What is that I need to remember? What is that I need to forget? When to remember, when to forget, when to forgive, and when to give. I think in my previous session here, I discussed on this. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, or else I can repeat myself. The first understanding which we break when we belong to Baba, God, is that I don't belong to this world. This is the first clear understanding I get. I don't belong here. This world doesn't belong to me. Well, this is a crude way of me saying it, but hey, this is the truth. No, this world doesn't belong to us, right? When we look at this world, there are only two species, you can say. One, human species. Two, every other species combined together. That's it. We are so different from them. From every other species you see there, we are so different. For us, we need everything processed. Because when we, as these intelligent beings, when we came from another world to this world, there was a handshake between here and the intelligent beings. So this world said, fine, great, welcome, come into this world. More than welcome to be here. But we have two laws. The first law is law of karmas. You're way too much powerful. You're way too much intelligent. It will be a very uneven feel if you are coming into this world and interacting with the species here. Here, the maximum intelligent species we have is apes. And you want to come here and play, then it'll be uneven. And here we have two laws which you need to follow. The first law is law of karmas. You cannot go beyond this law. If you have taken something, then you will take back. You have to reach something known as a state of karmic neutrality before I let you go. So think twice before you enter. You are coming from some other world. You are getting into this world. Great. But the moment you enter, be one thing very sure. You need to always maintain karmic neutrality. You can't give more. You can't take more. That's the first law of my world. The second law of my world is law of amnesia. You cannot have memories. That's not allowed. Right? You cannot have memories of something else, some other thing. That will be an uneven field. Right? I might have given this example even in my last talk. I remember vividly, or else I'll say that again, right? If you look at say we have seen a Discovery Channel or in National Geographic, right? We see a chase sequence between a line. There is a group of a herd of deers grazing, right? They are all grazing. They are and somewhere in the bush is lurking a tiger. And the tiger looks and locks its eye on a particular deer. And the deer's sensors kind of be alert. And then it looks. And then it'll start to run. There is a chase sequence. The deer is running and then the tiger is chasing. And then a time comes, say for our convenience, we will say, you know what? The deer just says, yeah, I got it. And the tiger couldn't catch hold of the deer. And immediately what happens? The deer, right after that chase, immediately goes into depression. And all other deers will come together and will take that deer and will take it to a shrink, a psychologist. And then for at least 5 to 10 years of the deer, they will spend time in that rehabilitation center, trying to get through the shock and trauma. And then they have to find out whether their insurance will cover this cost, right? Because how can the deer survive? So the deer has to go through that insurance and they will go through that whole process. And then the deer will decide, the family will decide, we have to relocate to another forest because we cannot live here anymore. and they go to another forest, and then the deer says, no, I'm not going to graze anymore, I'm not going to eat the grass, right? So they take them to another forest, and they have to be treated, and they will be put on drugs, and they have to be because for the deer it's a huge painful process to process all these things, and by the time it will start to lose its weight. And does any of these things happen? The story was very good till the chase ended. After that, whatever I was saying, hello, that never happens in the deer world. Immediately the deer goes back to grazing. It starts to eat. It starts to kind of go. And tomorrow again, the deer comes back to the same spot, grazing, eating. Tomorrow is another chase. So what? It doesn't have the memory? It didn't form the memory? No, it is wired differently. See, I'm not saying that we as human beings, we shouldn't go to a psychiatrist. No, that is not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make is we are wired differently. When we came, we saw the template which is there laid out in this world, from single cell amoeba all the way to apes. We created our own spacesuit, our costume. We try to get in here. We try to beat the system. We try to process things in a different way. We created language. We created letters. We created so that we can write down history and keep it for posterity. We do all that. But not animals, not plants. They don't. Even the COVID situation, you just look at that, how interesting it is, right? One virus, it put one species in quarantine. Just this human beings it put in quarantine. And what happened? The world started to heal. They started to see endangered species coming back, all the beautiful flora and fauna flourish. They say the ozone layer started to heal, the air became 33% more fresh during that period. Just one human species got quarantined, and the air quality started to grow immediately. So the world knows how to heal itself. The world has its own way of healing itself. So when we there as a species is coming down, we had this clear law of karmas and law of amnesia. So that's why when we go back, that's it, we cannot go back. Hey, there's loss of karma, take another birth. Well, I believe in rebirth. If you have taken the course, you know about rebirth. When you take the rebirth and when you come back, what is that happening? Exactly the same thing. You don't have memories, you only have patterns. You all know the difference between memory and patterns, right? I'm talking about sanskars. The moment there are two kids, they look at the same dog. One kid runs towards the dog, the other person runs away from the dog. Why? It's the pattern they have. They see that thing, but do they have the memory at what time, when, what happened with that dog, with any dog, that I don't remember. There was a beautiful story of someone who said there was a wife and a husband, and they fell in love. They actually fell in love and married, and after that, it became very toxic. And they decided, you know what, this is too painful. We need to separate our ways. And just separating won't be good enough. We want to erase the memories. So they went to a doctor and they said, you know what, please erase the memories of ours. I said, sure. And the doctor erases their memories. And all of a sudden, there is this burst of happiness in them. Wow, I don't remember anything. This is wonderful. So the wife and husband, they both go down and their eyes meet and they fall in love again. They don't have the memories, but the pattern is the same. you liking certain thing, you disliking certain thing. It's based on the pattern. So you take another birth based on the pattern, but there are no memories of it, right? When you come back into this world. So when we get into this topic, when we say when to remember, when to forget, when to forgive, when to give, what basically is happening? There is nothing to remember, there's nothing to forget. And actually, if you look at it, there's nothing to forgive. There's only one thing, that is your space here, what you have built in. This is all you have. Remembering is a very key concept because for you to remember third person, a third party who should be there to kind of nudge you and keep telling you, remember, this is what you were, this is what you have done, this is where you have become, what you have become, this is where you can be. That is the source I need to come to. And what do I need to forget? The forgetting part is when you have these experiences which are happening at this current moment. Don't hold on to that experience, anything it is for that matter. Have the ability to kind of let go of anything and make that as a practice. Because among all the qualities what the soul possesses, one thing what us and what we have very deeply ingrained within us is wisdom. And the wisdom will guide you, will point you, will make you understand that, you know what, where exactly is the pointer, and based on the pointer I make the decision. Is the pointer pointing towards the golden age? Then I'll be in a certain way. Is the pointer pointing towards the silver age? Then I'll be in a certain way. Is the pointer towards the copper age? Then I'll be in a certain way. But at this moment, where is the pointer? Once you understand that, then you know the beauty of what exactly I need to remember and what exactly I need to forget. And forgiving is a very interesting topic because, to tell you frankly, there is nothing known as forgiving, right? Because it is covered in this first law. You say you are forgiving because somewhere you are in this false pretext that someone somehow has hurt you, which is never the case. You know what? Anyway, you have to reach the level of karmic neutrality. If not now, tomorrow. But what am I doing? An exercise I am doing to forgive is so that I can free up the space here. I have a lot of space here and I don't want someone living here rent free, right? Constantly thinking about that person. I don't want, he did this to me, she did this to me, he shouldn't have done that. 95% of your thought is only going towards that. That means you are having given that person a space here and they are living in rent free. That is why it becomes very important for me to forgive. And not just forgive. They say forgive, but you cannot forget. No, you forgive and you forget. Otherwise, life will become very complicated. Already there are so many things, complicated things happening around in your world. You start to look at any little thing and you go into the depth of it, it becomes complicated. This is where I connect to a supreme source. I connect to something divine. I sit there. Only he can uncomplicate things. There cannot be any other method. If you all think that there is another method, please let me know. When there is the battery of your cell phone has depleted, the only method is to plug it in to an external source. That is all you will do. The rest, the magic will happen. What will happening, how many electrons are coming in, how many charge is going on, that's none of my botheration. That's all encapsulated from me. I only know that I need to connect to that source. And then I wait. And a time will come. You will get charged. You will see your innate qualities coming up. You see that you have come to a state where you can look at it and say, yes. That is called ability to give and surrender to God. This is an art which God is teaching us. Child, surrender to me. Surrender yourself to me. To tell you frankly, that has become the toughest thing for all of us. To surrender ourselves to a being which whom I cannot see, I cannot hear, I cannot touch, I cannot smell, I cannot taste. Why? Because of something known as autoimmune disease of the intellect. Our own intellect started to fight against us. We can take anything. Immediately 10,000 thoughts will emerge and will fight us. At this very, I know you all have done the course, this thing. How many of you can say at this very moment, I can be worry free? Right now. No worries whatsoever. Because worry is the yardstick to check how much I have surrendered myself to God. So worry is a very good yardstick. Once I think that I have given to God, then the second thing you need to do is check on your worry. Am I still worrying on it? If I'm worrying on it, then I haven't given it. And then we understand the God's way of working. And for God's way of working to happen, we have to be lots and lots of patience needs to be there. There are two things, right? One we call God, supreme being, and the second we call Maya or illusion. And these are two things, two extremes, and they are there while you're going through your spiritual journey. And the interesting thing is both of them have one quality which is very powerful. They both share the same quality. Whether be it God or whether be it Maya. And that quality is I hope I didn't put you all to sleep. Should be the one who should be sleeping. Okay. Just a reminder in case you all don't know. And that is patience. Both of them has eternal patience. God has eternal patience. God will say, you know what? I can wait for my children. From golden age, silver age, copper, iron, he was waiting. Similarly, Maya, he has eternal patience to just sit, wait and watch. When you are part of your spiritual journey, this is one quality which we should always have: your ability to have eternal patience. You told God, you explained to God, you told in your own words, you leave, you wait. This is how I have to test God and His presence. So many situations, right? Every one of you might have faced situations. If you haven't faced situations, then let me break this to you. Very soon you will face one. You becoming a Raj Yogi doesn't mean that you will be beyond situations. If taking that as a yardstick, if you have learned meditation, then let me break that bubble right now. No. Right around the corner, there is something waiting right there, staring at you, and it's waiting. It can be anything. It can be loss of a family member. It can be your health. It can be your job. It can be anything. It is right around the corner. But one thing I can guarantee you, you will go through it and you will pass through it. What else do you need? Me becoming a Brahman, a Raj Yogi, doesn't mean that situations won't come to you. It just means that you will have enough understanding, enough tools that you will bypass it. And Baba has given us the other steps too. Are you going to break the situation and go, or flow through the situation and go, or you will fly? So in my Brahmin life, it is right around the corner. Any situation, whatever it is, he has given the tools. And he has let us know that yes, we have the understanding, and I know life is not complicated. It's very simple. One thing, if I need to really be worried about, is my own intellect, autoimmune disease of the intellect, your intellect turning against yourself, right? That's what autoimmune disease is. Your own immunity is fighting against you, and you can't do anything about it. This is what is happening with the intellect. Our own intellect is starting to fight against you. The moment you say something, immediately you're into, come on, that doesn't seems right. This is not right. This is how it is. This is what this religious text says. This is what my understanding says. This is what my belief system says. This is what science says. This is everything will come. And what it'll do, it'll do only one thing. Immune diseases do only one thing: to paralyze you. It won't allow you to get up and take the next step. You look at the world right now, look at so many look at our population. We have 8 billion population. So that means 8 billion creative minds we have. So much we could have done. Look at the golden age population, just 900,000. It's golden age. So if you have so many minds right now working, then we should create better than golden age, right? Because of the same thing, our own intellect is start to work against us. We go through this whole situation where we are turning against our own self. That is why in Raj Yoga, the first thing what we learn is surrender your intellect. Can I take this intellect and give it? give it to God and say, you know what, you take it. As a young Brahmin, when I used to go to the center and take it, there were so many things. It was such a story that whatever I used to touch used to turn to dust. That's how I remember my initial days. Situations after situation. Right? There was a time when parents had high hopes on me. You know, he will do this, he will do that. And then here you go, you become a Brahmin. You come to meditation center. And what's happening now? Whatever you touch, all I need to do is take that subject and that will go. I used to remember I used to just go and sit in Baba's room, the meditation room, and just sit there. And there will be tears flowing through my eyes. I used to look at the picture and I used to just say, if you think that me facing these problems is going to weaken me and leave you, you are wrong. I'm not going to leave you because I understood somewhere deep within the soul, I have this understanding that you are the truth. But Baba, I'm not happy. I just used to say, I'm not happy, Baba. I'm not. This was just as a young Brahmin, I took the course and thing. And then the only response I used to get was one smile from him. And he's saying, wait, child, wait. Just hold on, wait. That's the only answer I used to get. And now when I look back at those days, I get really tears of happiness now. Thank you, Baba, for enriching my life. Because those were the situations which were shaping me, making me understand, getting me through things, making me realize things in a different way. If you really look at people right now, those who have everything, right, so called everything, their challenge is they are crippled. They are not able to get up and do something and contribute something, even spiritually, physically, or anything. So when we understand our journey in a very deeper way, you know that, yeah, someone is at work and someone is at play. And you understand, yeah, he's there. He's making things happen. Because as my understanding grows, I understand that everything I'm looking at this world right now, I'm looking from his point of view. There is the self, there is God, there is drama. And my only challenge is I need to look from there, be with them. And when you look at our dadis and everyone, you get so surprised how they face situations and got through it. Recently, a sister came from Madhuban. How many of you have taken the course? I'm throwing all these words and I don't even know. I'm under the impression that they're
So good number of these are already listening to Murli, so you can just
okay.
read
So
that.
they are Murli students. Okay. Thank you, Harsha.
Good number of, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we have one of our senior sister, um, who's called Dadi Gulzar, right? And she is, I would say, in simple terms, a conduit of God. Her only way she knows is to be in silence. deep silence. I remember when she came to Cinnamonson here to open the Cinnamonson Center, I got that opportunity to be with her. Only self is she will literally believe everything, anything you say. She doesn't have another thing like, oh, is this true? Ye sach kaha hai, jhoot kaha hai, what is literally she will be there for you. She has practiced her soul consciousness to such an extent that she can only look at innate self, innate quality that, yeah, you are pure. I cannot look anything other than that. I was hearing some stories about her, like she was so much that during the COVID days, she left recently. And in 2020, 21 is when the COVID surge happened, right? There was a surgery which had to be performed on her. And that sister was sharing, I just heard it, and I don't know if some of you might have. She had to be done a surgery, but then she cannot be taken out or because of some situation. So they made the place where she's there, she had to kind of make it as an operating room and be there. But the problem is anesthesia. How to give anesthesia to her? Because we can't get anyone. There is some complication, something that sister was saying. And the sister went to Dadi and said, Dadi, for 15 minutes, can you go into a deep state of soul consciousness so that I can perform this surgery on you? And Dadi said, sure. I'll go with God, be with Baba. And they performed it. For
So they
her, for
perform
us,
without anesthesia.
yeah, without
They
anesthesia.
perform the surgery without anesthesia on
Yeah,
Daddy.
without.
Oh wow.
Imagine for her, this world and that other world. It's like going from one room to another room, right? For us, we are yogis. Right? We are doing yoga. That means I'm sitting and I'm connecting traffic control. Okay, I need to connect to the Supreme. Half the time I'm like, oh my God, when will this traffic control song will be over? Because I have this thing to do. I have this thing to do. I'm going there, trying to go there. But if you go to Dadi, it's the other way around. When you start to talk, she already know what you're talking about. And she's waiting, okay, when you can stop talking so that I can go back there. She's living there and she comes here and goes. She's in the deep spiritual realm. She's there. And we thought this is all kind of, no, for her, it's a literal thing. That world is very genuine and real. And the sister whom I was talking to, she was sharing these stories. Like there was the sister who is taking care of Dadi. Her name is Sister Neelu. And once some Dadi left the body. So Dadi doesn't use internet. Dadi doesn't read outside paper. Dadi doesn't she doesn't do these things, right? She's the news person who brings the news to her. So Neelu Ben came and Dadi, I have something to tell you. She said, yeah, I know. Dadi took leave from me. Hold on. What are you talking about? You are saying about this particular Dadi, right? Yeah. Yeah, she left body, I know. How do you know? Well, I met her in the world and she took leave from me. She said, Dadi, I'm leaving the body. She took leave and then she left. So for her, that world is real. For us, this world we made ourselves this very real. She's there in that world, and for her, it is only a matter of stepping into that world and coming. That's why we never see Dadi emotionally hijacked by anything which happens in this world, because she has access to that world and she sees from that world what is happening here or what's right. For me, if I kind of say, you know what, I will go into big depression, I'll start to cry, and Harsha guy comes in, why, what happened? Ah, come on, my shirt got torn and I'm going into depression. He will start to laugh. Ah, come on, Gokul bhai, give me a break. Just because a shirt got torn, you can't go into this dramatized emotion. Get a grip, go get another shirt, or I'll get you a shirt. Right? It's such a silly thing to see a big grown-up man crying because his shirt got torn. That is exactly how Dadi is looking at us. When someone leaves the body, you are all crying and making such a big mess. Hello, I'm seeing there. He just left this costume and is gone there. And the interesting thing is, we have access to that world. This world, how exactly we have access to this world, that similar way we have access to that same world. See, what makes Brahma Kumaris, this organization, different than any other organization? See, every organization, there is a person who starts that organization, and along with that, fresh souls comes from the soul world to sustain it. So there is power. But poor Baba, he doesn't have that luxury. When Baba comes and starts his organization, whom do he has? He has only these people who have been there for 5,000 years. These old, worn out souls, they are the only people. And look at his faith on these children. No, ye mere laadle bachche. These are my sweetest children and I'll work with them. They are the ones who will make it happen. And oh boy, they didn't. These dadis and all, don't you think they came with their baggage? 63 births we have taken. Don't you think they have taken 63 births of the same type, going through different emotion, different thing? But in that last one birth, what they got, look at the way they turned around things. They could literally work on themselves. And we can give so many examples, right? We say, yes, there was Brahma Baba. Yeah, there was Mama. Yes, there was Prakash Mani Dadi. Yes, there was Janki Dadi. Yes, there was Gulza Dadi. Yes, there's Shivani Ben. Yes, the list continues. Because it's the same thing. What Dadi has, the access to this world and that world. Similarly, we are having the same access to a world here where we come, we perform, and we have access to another world. And when we start to look things from that world, we see many things from here will start to disappear or should disappear. Then we completely and clearly will get an idea. When should I forgive? When should I forget? When should I give? It's no more complicated. These questions won't arise then. It goes to a state of very simple state. There is no question about forgiveness later on. Because now you are not working on your virtues anymore. Right? Yes, I need to do this. I need to be happy. Right? You stop saying that. Right? Does anyone still says that, yeah, I need to be happy? That's a trap. The moment I say I need to be happy, that means you are setting yourself for failure. Did you get it? The moment I say I need to be happy, the statement itself says that happiness is something else, something somewhere else, and I need to reach that, which is not the case. I cannot say I need to be happy. It's just I am happy. Something is covering my happiness. Happiness is not an object to be achieved, but happiness is you, the light. How come I am not shining my happiness? That means something is covering and I need to remove that. How come I'm not in peace? I need to achieve peace. No, you are never achieving peace because you are peace. If I'm peaceless, then I need to check what is that thing which is covering my peace. So many things when we understand is when I have to have some work which I need to do within the self, then don't look for a solution out there. Just yesterday, I was watching a video. Someone gave that video a long time back. It was an interesting video. It was Ramanujan's equation. Ramanujan is considered to be a math genius. He is the one who counted till infinity. Right? Ramanujan's infinity, you can do a Google search and look at it. He counted infinity 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus you keep counting. And when you reach infinity, you'll get a number. Just sit with this, right? Infinity, I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You keep counting, and the time you reach the infinity, he came up with a number. And that number is minus 1 by 12. How can a positive number, you keep adding positive number, positive number, and you get a fraction? And that too minus 1 by 12. And this is such a spiritual understanding to have. Right? Plus and minus shows the direction, right? Plus is everything of this world, external world. You try to conquer it. I need clothing. I need good health. I need car. I need this. You keep adding, and you keep seeing how much dent it is going to make in your inner world. That is in the negative section of it. Right? This is neutral. This is the entire thing from here is your positive thing, your infinity. You keep adding things. When you can reach infinity, when you conquer the entire world here, external world, then you would have reached, it is equivalent to the 1/12 of your inner world. Just sit with this whole concept. My goodness. So I need to get a house. I need to get not one house. I need to get every house in this universe. Not only of this earth, but how much our galaxies there are. I need to get food, not just of my food, but my neighbor's food, but the other person's food. Every food, the universe, every water, every comfort, you get everything when you reach infinity and grab everything. Your world will become internally just 1/12 you have reached. 1/12 of your happiness you would have reached. 1/12 of your peace you have reached. 1/12 of your bliss you have reached. This is a real physics equation too. So if my understanding is that I will be happy if I get this, and this, then you need to reach infinity to at least make a dent. in your inner world. Right? Your inner world is nothing but happiness, love, peace, purity, bliss, wisdom, power. This is your inner world. My external world is car, building, house, comforts. So if I'm starting off with this premise that yes, I need to get these things from my external world so that I can fill up my inner world, doesn't work. But on the other hand, no one has counted your this side of it, your inner world. When you go into a state of inner world, when you try to be in your love, peace, happiness, bliss, wisdom, power, believe me, there is something which is happening in your external world and it will start to come before you. And this is the only way we will conquer the world. The world cannot be conquered with guns and bullets and bombs. No. It will be conquered when we conquer, every one of us will start to conquer our own inner world. When we start to be in our own inner world, be with her. Just like Gulzar Dadi, what did she do? Nothing in the external world. Literally, what Max philosophy did Gulzar Dadi give to the world? What building did she make? What locomotive did she create? What? Nothing. A lady sitting in a corner in silence. That's all she did. But if there is a world out there, if there is something known as a golden age out there, no one can be as ready as that old lady. No one. She got to a state where it is impossible for her to hurt anyone. During the last time when she was leaving the body too, I heard from these stories. Like when Gulzar Dadi was in the hospital, the doctors take turn, right? They all come, they take turn, they kind of look after Dadi. They come and one after another, doctors have schedule, like morning there's an doctor, afternoon, evening. So I think when Shivani Ben or some sister went to meet Dadi at 10 o'clock, Neelu Ben, she said, oh, Dadi might be asleep, so I shouldn't disturb. He said, no, 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 she's awake. Oh, she's awake this late? No, no, there's a doctor who comes one round. So she waits for the doctor. Right? Yeah, okay, let me come and give drishti and let her go. So, Dadi knows, he waits. And they said when Dadi was about to leave the body, they all know that, yes, it's time. Dadi has to leave the body. But the soul is not leaving. And they called everyone. They all were there and they are waiting, and Dadi is still there. Dadi is still there. She's not leaving. And they're all wondering why, what happened. And at 10:30, the doctor came for a round. And then these people, oh my God, we forgot to inform this doctor that, Dadi is like that. So that doctor came and that Dadi looked at him, gave drishti, and she left. She reached the perfect karmic neutrality. Even to that, yes, someone is waiting for me. I shouldn't keep them waiting. Someone is there who will be there. I'm not going to. Let me give. Let me just be a living where I'm there for giving. And it's the same knowledge. What Dadi is getting at something extra? No. Same Murli, same classes, same thing. We learn, we understand, we go. Yes. Because it is the promise of spirituality. In spirituality, when you go into this whole practice, it is a handshake between you and God. When you plan to create a certain stage within yourself, He is with you. And when you are in the field of service to serve someone, He will be your companion. In Hindi, for Hindi translators, I will even give it in Hindi so that will be easy. Sthiti mein saath, seva mein sati. This is what it is. And stage is there. You develop your stage, you work on your stage. Yes, His hand is there. And the moment you get into a state of serving, He will become your companion. Because the moment you have taken the spiritual birth and you say, you know what, this is my birth, then the first thing you will experience is your third eye. And the moment when we say third eye, we will say, okay, there is another eye and I need to see. That eye is not used for seeing, actually. That eye is used for knowing. For seeing this, these two eyes are more than enough. It's good enough. Well, you might need to have some glasses like me in case. But third eye, you don't use for seeing. Third eye, you use for knowing. You know the Supreme Father. You don't see the Supreme Father. Does anyone have the wish that you want to see the Supreme Father? No, right? Good. Because that's not the whole purpose. You got the third eye to know the Supreme Father. You got the third eye to understand the beginning of my Supreme Father's creation. Not of the world. That we'll come to later. How does He create? What is the beginning? I will know the middle. What is the middle? I will know the end. What is the end? I will know. How? Using only my third eye, not with these eyes. And why should I know the Supreme Father? Why should I know the beginning, the middle, and the end? This is required so that I can fight my autoimmune disease. In Raj Yoga, there is a constant practice which is being given. There is this 5 forms, and you need to churn on that, be in that state. The soul somewhere has to have this flavor slowly develop that, yes, I am a soul. Just a point at my home. Not this world. This is just a world for me to act. There is another world. I'll be there. That is my world. It's peace. It's love. The moment you start to say these things, your autoimmune disease will kick in. Yeah, right. That world. Come on. What are you talking about? And it's good. The moment if it is saying, that is very good understanding for me to know that, yep, I am diseased. And it doesn't stop there. Then you need to go and churn. You will go into the second form. I, the being, the same very being, is a deity soul. The entire world out there is there to point at me and say, you are good for nothing, you're not good. They are great to kind of give comments in your comment section of your YouTube channel if you have one, or your Instagram or whatever. That's okay. But here you have to sit and you have to tell yourself, I am a deity soul, I am divine. And immediately your own being will start to resist it. An autoimmune disease will say, sorry, I can't accept me and divine. In what way, shape, form can you think yourself as divine? No, I beat myself to it and I say, no, I'm divine. Then I need to get back. It doesn't stop with divinity. That I am a worship worthy soul. You have to sit with that. Feel that there are millions and millions of people waiting just for a glimpse of me, of my idol. I'm being praised. I am blessing on all these devotees. And it doesn't stop there. The fourth form, I am a Brahman, the first creation of God. I am the chosen one. I am the one whom I am been waiting for. I have prayed, I have thought someone somewhere somehow will come and put an end to this misery. Guess what? It's me who has to put an end to this misery. I am God's first creation. And it doesn't end there. I have to go to the fifth form. I am an angel. I don't need a body to serve anyone anymore in this stage. I can serve anyone, anywhere. Sit with that. Yes, I can serve anyone, anywhere. And then you have to go back to you. Yes, now I'm just a point. And this you have to repeat. How long should you repeat? Till the voice what is been fighting against you and telling you that you are good for nothing and this is just nothing but a big baloney, that voice start to cease. Then you know that I am in the process of conquering this autoimmune disease. My own intellect then will start to stop fighting against me. And what is the next thing you will see? You will get up, you will stand. Because autoimmune disease will only cripple us, will only put us in a block. You start to churn and churn and churn and churn. Without your knowledge, somewhere something gets in, and then you say, you know what? Let me get up intellectually, spiritually. And you understand. Three things should happen then. First one, your resilience will increase, your capacity to take on whatever is being thrown at you. That'll increase. Two, most important thing, your sensitivity is balanced. You won't be oversensitive or non-sensitive. It's in balance. right? Sometimes people are too oversensitive. You touch them, you are like, touch me now, and they will explode. Or they are just like a rock. Even the some of the things what you say, nothing moves. No, it goes into a state of balance. And the third most important thing is love. You will start to feel that you are a being of love to the extent that you will be incapable of complaining totally. You cannot complain anymore. You try to complain. You have people who will tell things and you want to say yes, but internally like, come on, Gokul, you know that. The gravest of grave mistakes you can see, and still you kind of give, you know what? I want to give benefit of doubt. So these three things you will start to see as you start to spin. Your resilience, your sensitivity is balanced, and your love. Because see, this is what has happened in the world. When a calamity strikes right now, today, any calamity, be it I lose my loved one, or I lose my job, I lose anything, there is a tendency that you will either blame the self, or you'll blame the drama that is around you, or you'll blame God. Any person out there, you look at them, they'll say, why I couldn't do this, why I couldn't do that, why I wasn't good enough. Or they will dream the drama. They may not use the term drama, but the language what they use is, why this happened to me? How can this happen to me? Or they will blame God. Why did God do this to me? How can God be so insensitive? I think there is no God. So my gauging point is, am I above this blame? If I'm above this blame, that is the sure short way to understand that you are unshakable and immovable. This is what that churning will bring you into. You will stop blaming yourself. You will stop blaming what is happening around the drama. And of course, you will stop blaming God. You will go beyond this blame. You will look at a situation and not a single thought about that situation will create a ripple inside you. When you look at the situation, you'll say, yeah, Baba is there. Maybe there is something good in it. Maybe nothing. Yeah, there's that situation. You're sitting here and you see a fly pass by. How many thoughts do you spend on that fly which is flown right in front of you? Zero. It's gone. Whatever. Now remove that fly and put a situation in front of you. I lost someone. I lost something. I lost some comfort. Nothing. I don't blame anyone. And it's not even registering something. That's when you know you're unshakable. You're immovable. Right? I think I have been speaking for too long and I might have put a lot of you to sleep. Any questions? Let me take some questions. I know you may not have any questions because the tendency is I don't convince people. I normally end up confusing people. That's why we have Harsha Bhai. So if you have any questions, let's all put him to test and ask Harsha Bhai all the difficult questions. But I definitely want to know those questions. Not that I will answer. It's just that, oh, okay, such a question exists. So I want to know those questions. That's why. Yes, no. Anyone still here? Or did we lose you all?
So you should be able to unmute yourself. Please try now unmuting. Yeah. Somebody unmuted, iPad. If anyone have any questions or comments, feel free to unmute yourself. And if you have any thoughts.
Because many things we have covered, and I understand it might be difficult to kind of even process or things like that. See, understanding is one thing, right? But then why we have chosen a life, and because someone said, okay, when I learn meditation, what am I going to gain? And we are not, right? This is one thing we understand. I'm not gaining anything from meditation. In fact, I'm going to lose a lot of stuff from learning meditation, or at least that is what the expectation is. You should start to lose your anger. You should start to lose your greed. You should start to lose your thing to react to things. So many things you start to lose. That is what is your meditation is going to do. And when you start to lose these little coverings outside, then you will start to see the shine from within. And it has to shine. It's only a matter of time. And when you see that shine, you understand, you go into that state of total bliss. You understand, yeah, there can be a life like that. There can be a life which is meaningful and create a life which is more meaningful for me and for people around us. That is how you influence people, right? You don't force people. You don't kind of tell people. Now we need to go even beyond that. What we do is we influence people in a very gentle way.
Just wanted to say, brother, how profound that is, what you just said, that we influence by understanding the knowledge. Then we get to be able to do that. Very profound. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you.
Om Shanti. I have a question that you mentioned something about that we don't forgive anything. And my question is that, yeah, I feel that when we do something wrong to somebody, or if somebody does anything wrong to us, we do try to forgive them, or at least we say that I'm sorry, or whatever has happened, I'm trying, I forgive you. So did I misunderstood something?
No. Why not? Definitely. No, it's always a good gesture, right? To kind of forgive. But when you look into the mechanics and nitty-gritties of forgiving, you forgiving something, did it take away his karmic accounts and take him closer to his karmic neutrality? No, right? You forgiving has given you the ability to free up some space here.
Right.
That's all.
Oh, okay. No, I think that.
Sorry, did I lose the audio?
I feel Nilaben, I think
Yeah,
got muted.
I just said that the entire class was very nice, very good. I really enjoyed it. It's almost 11 o'clock for me, but it was so good that I didn't even go to sleep.
Even for me, it's 11 o'clock. 9:30, I go to sleep. And Harsha Bhai, I need to fight with you. For because of you, I lost my sleep. Then tomorrow, if I'm going to miss my Amrit Vela, that's it.
No, we'll definitely wake you up from
No. I love. This is a better way to go to sleep, to share knowledge and churn with like-minded people and go to sleep. So yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Brother Gokul, this is Anumani. I live
How come
near.
I'm not able to see you, or how do I see you, or which screen are you in? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
I live
the
near
camera is good.
the Anuputi Center in Novato, California.
Okay.
So we are in a good time zone, not like you. Thank you. This is the first time I'm hearing you. This is extraordinary. I've been attending Raja Yoga. Today, actually, I missed one of my Raja Yoga session by one of the sisters. It is Monday, Wednesdays, 2 days a week. And then, but I thought I wanted to hear you. And then because somebody recommended your thing, they sent me in the WhatsApp group. Anyway, extraordinary. I think you captivated the audience. You captivated me for sure. And the amount of, I think I needed to keep on brooding over what you have said by repeating it to myself, and then so I'm reinforcing myself. I hope I have the recorded session of recorded version of your session, and the way that you have said it in a calm and content way, and very calm, very reassuring way that you have said. I think I have not heard any. I think this is I'm really mesmerized by the way that you spoke and the contents of it, and I have taken some notes while you're talking, and I'm going to be repeating myself in this, and definitely I'll work on it
Wonderful.
to become a better person. And this is extraordinary. All I wanted to convey my appreciation for you, the way you spoke, and content.
Anyone else?
Yeah, actually, Anuben, the thing is, someone else might be laughing when you're showering all the praises at me, because he would be thinking, hello, I'm the one who has given him all the knowledge and I'm not getting that enough praise. And how come this kid is getting? Right. Anyway, thank you very much. Yes. Anyone else?
Om Shanti, Brother Gokul. I agree with everyone. This is Kalpana. I don't know if you can see me.
Hold on, let me see which page am I saying here. Yes.
Yeah, just wanted to say, like everyone else, it was an extraordinary talk, and wanted to ask you more about the Murlis and what Baba is trying to convey through them. So are there specific instructions? Are they something
you need to understand? Yeah, Murli is beautiful in many different levels, because there are two Murlis, right? One is called the Sakar Murli and one is called the Avyakt Murli. Sakar Murli is important because that is going to tell you how to get into a system and disrupt a system. That is why Sakar Murlis are so beautiful. Shiv Baba, when he entered Brahma Baba, he was put into a context, into a system, right? And that system never believed that a point of light is God, never believed that human beings can be divine, never believed that there is a cyclical nature to this world, never believed that divinity can not only be established and performed and created, but it can be practiced in a very active way. None. But then he went into that context. He scanned and he saw, okay, whatever you know, let me start from that point. And the best thing is, he went in, he kept on into a process of positive pushing. This is how I would say. He pushed the children through this huge wave of positivity that it has to engulf. Never in the Murli he first came and said, "Tum nalaik bachon, kuch kaam dhande nahi hai aapka." Well, which if he would have said, I would have still listened to his Murli, because that is the truth. Right? Nalaik means good for nothing kids. You good for nothing kids, you have no clue what you are doing. You have messed up the world like anything. Now here, take it from me. He could have started like this. No. Instead, he chose Meete Bache. Sweet children. I have only love for you. But can we do these things? See if you can. I'm going to give you 4 things to work on. First, I'm going to give you an understanding of it, complete understanding of it. And once you get that understanding, still you won't be able to do it. So I'll give you power. Just by getting power, you need to kind of start to equip yourself. Once you start to equip yourself, go out, try it out. That's all he gave. And instead of me putting it in this way, he's have to say it in a way where his audience at that moment can understand. Who are his audience? People who have never gone to college, never gone to school. For them, the thing is, how does rain happen? Rain happens because there is a god called as Indra, and he is going to pour some water from above and we will get rain. To that intellect, I need to give these 3 concepts. Understanding, the power of that understanding, the power to do that understanding, to work on that understanding, and to put into practice that understanding. He made these 4 things into 4 subjects: Jnana, Yoga, Dharana, Seva. These are the 4 things. Do it now. Let me see what you understand about this whole world. Okay, for you, God is something like a light. Hazar suryon se tejomai. Hazar means thousands of bright suns put together, even multi-million times eye-popping, burning light is God. Okay, fine, that's me. Now let's have a conversation. From 1936 or 1937 onwards, he came into a context and then he disrupted the whole thing. By 1969, when Brahma Baba became Avyakt, he was total encompassing. When Brahma Baba left with these 3 powerful messages, Nirakari, Nirvikari, Nirahankari. What a beautiful process. That's Murli. Every time then Baba says, child, Bap Saman Bano, Bap Saman, become like God, become like me. When you read Sakar Murlis, you understand the psychology of God. When you read Avyakt Murli, you get the force behind that. In Never Murli, he says you are good for nothing, right? And always he says the positive part of it. If I want you to do something, he will give you the positive side of it. And then he will end with a question. Hai na? Aise ho na? And I know internally, nahi hu. But it is God who is saying, Are tum to maharati bacche ho na? every time I read in the Murli, I get a chuckle in my internal and say, yes, Baba, this is what I need to emulate. Imagine you all implementing this simple technique in your homes. When you're talking to your spouse, when you're talking to your kids, when your kids doesn't do good in studies. अरे तुम तो बहुत अच्छे करने वाले हो, तुम तो डिसिप्लिन कितने अच्छे करते हो, आप तो डिसिप्लिन का भंडार हो ना. When your spouse is angry and mad, नहीं तुम तो कितने शांत रहते हो, तुम तो शांति का ये हो, तुम तो हमेशा ये करते हो, क्यों ऑफिस में कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया होगा इसीलिए कर रहे हो ना. Look what Murli can change our intellects and make us work in our own thing. That's why Sakar Murlis are beautiful, where it is like getting into a context and bursting everything. At that time, they were so this thing, like dadis used to laugh after that. Dadis used to say, if someone comes into their home, into that thing and sit in the sofa after they leave, they will wipe the entire sofa. Nahi, all these sinners have come and sat in the. And Baba used to smile, sure, go ahead, play around. But that same Dadi has become global mothers. And that teaches us something. Never give a label before the game is over. Never give a label to anyone. So many things Sakar Murli teaches us. Baba never said, came and said, yep, all the scriptures what you are studying is a big baloney, good for nothing. Just take it and throw it in the trash. I'm going to give you Murli. Tell me in one Murli which he said this. No. He said, let me give you the real scripture. Let me take the best parts of that scriptures and enhance it and make you understand what that scripture can do to you. And you're like, wow. So that is Sakar Murli. And Avyakt Murli is to the next level, where he's giving specific instructions on how you can work on anything. So once you become soul conscious and start reading into the Murlis and see, every day when I listen to the Murli, minimum I'm saying 10 to 15 points, it'll just sit in my intellect. I'm a very bad person with memory. I can never remember anything. But when I'm sitting in Murli, for some strange reason, I'm like, wow, wow, wow. How can anyone not take points from Murli? When anyone says, yeah, it's the same point, mujhe yaad karo, mujhe just remember. That's what Baba said. I said, no, that means you did not get into it. You have to listen to the Murli using only one thought. This is the way I'm getting to know the psychology of God. And once you understand that psychology of God, you will be in awe. Like how he works on it. He says, yes, this is everything. Without yoga, there is nothing. Every time he will say, yoga, 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 yoga is sab kuch karna, yaad ki karte rehna. And then one sudden Murli comes up saying that, kya, baith ke yaad hi karte rahenge? Hello, you've been saying that for so long. Yeah, yaad to koi kar sakti. Come on, get up, do some seva, get the posters done, get this thing done. Oh, okay, so I need to do seva too. And when you get into that seva and do anything, what? Seva to isme to koi bhi kar sakte hai. What about the knowledge? Be a knowledgeable soul. Oh my God, so what now? I need to get knowledge too. He is treating us just like a child. He's not caring about what you think about me or what the world thinks about me. Because the rest of the organization, they are caught up in this. What did they think about me? Oh, I'm God. I need to protect that image. He says, I hardly care about it. My question is, I will use the words the way I want. You might label anything, but my goal is very clear. I want to take you from point A to point B. When Dadi Janaki came to Baba and said, Baba, what this thing I told you? I said, what are you talking about efforts? You're not going to see the next Diwali. What? I won't see the next Diwali. Yeah, you don't have another Diwali, child. This was when she was just 20 years old. And guess how old she was before she left the body? 105 years old. So now you can think and start dissecting. So what Baba tells all lies then? That's a label you are giving. But he knows I have to say these things for my child to open something up and make the effort to make Dadi Janki to her fullest potential. This is what I'm going to say. I always give the story. I might have given the story even here a couple of times. I don't know. But if I did, then forgive me. If I don't, then use this. There was this person, very skinny guy who was a big devotee, who was sitting and praying, always praise God. Every day, God has a lot of bhavana for God. And one day God appears and said, child, do you see that rock over there? He said, yes, God, yes. Wow, I got God's darshan. Yes, I see that rock. Go ahead and push it. So sure, I will push it. And he calls the whole villagers and he starts to push the rock. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year. The rock doesn't budge an inch. And the whole village starts to laugh at him and he becomes a laughing stock. And he's thinking, why God? Why is the rock not moving? You said it, so it has to move, right? It's God who said. So he goes to God and says, God, why is the rock not moving? So God appears and says, who said that it has to move? Well, you asked to push. There you go. I asked you to push. If the rock needs to be moved, I can move it. I don't want you. But look, 1 year before when you were praying to me, look at you, how skinny, thin you were. And after 1 year, look at you, you are with such good muscles and with good. I don't want people to praise me or make things on me. I have only one thing, that is love towards you. I want you to be healthy. Now look how healthy you are. Look how much you are eating good food. Look how good exercise you are getting. See how God looks at us. So this is exactly what Murli is, where you surrender yourself and then you listen to him. Yeah, this is God speaking. What is he doing? I'm going to blindly do it. Tomorrow he will say exactly another thing. Fully knowing well, I'll still go to the Murli. Because after I keep listening, doing, one fine day I see, without your knowledge, you are sitting in these Zoom meetings and you are giving sessions to some nice, wonderful people. And 30 years ago, if someone says you will have to talk to 2 people, you will be running. That's God's miracles. Yeah.
Thank you, Gokul.
Thank you. Any other questions? Oh, Carolyn Ben. Long time. Great to see family.
It was brilliant. Thank you. Simplicity is so beautiful.
Yes, simplicity is always beautiful, but I am not simple at all. I am the most complicated person. Keep complicating things too. Like you all, look at you all. You should be actually asking 100 questions, but I'm pretty sure that you all might be thinking, oh my God, what did this guy say, by the way? And don't worry, I'm not blaming you all. I can understand that.
Thank you very much, Gokul Bhai, for the beautiful session.
Thank you very much.